If I could sit across from my 60-year-old self today, I wouldn't yell, I wouldn't scold. I'd hold her hand, smile gently, and say, "You've still got time, but please listen carefully." These lessons weren't taught in school. They weren't whispered by friends. And by the time I truly understood them, well, let's just say they arrived a little too late. But maybe, just maybe, they won't be too late for you. I turned 60 thinking I was wise. I'd raised children, survived heartbreaks, paid off debts, buried dreams, and planted new ones. I had laugh lines and battle scars, and I thought that was enough to call myself wise. But age doesn't guarantee wisdom, only experience does. And experience? Well, sometimes it shows up wearing grief. Sometimes it arrives in the shape of a quiet Sunday when no one calls. Over the next few years, I stumbled into 12 lessons that reshaped how I live, love, and let go. They didn't arrive all at once. Some showed up in tears, others in quiet wins, but each one carved a new space in me. I hope they reach you just in time. You don't owe everyone an explanation. 60, I still felt the need to justify my boundaries. Why I skipped a party, why I canceled a call, why I wanted a quiet weekend. But the truth is, peace doesn't need a permission slip. It took me years to realize that no is a full sentence, that over explaining is often just fear dressed up as politeness. I've learned to let silence do the work sometimes because not everyone deserves front row access to your healing. Not all friends are meant to stay. I had a friend I knew for 30 years. We used to talk every day. And then slowly, quietly, we didn't. Held on, thinking letting go meant betrayal. But I was betraying myself, keeping space for someone who no longer saw me as I was. Ends are like leaves in autumn, bright, beautiful, and temporary. Others are roots. It's okay to let the leaves fall. It's how you make space for new growth. Read. Retirement isn't the end. It's a reinvention. When I retired, I felt adrift. No schedule, no coworkers, no emails. I thought I was useless, forgotten. Then one day I wandered into a community art class. No grades, no pressure, just colors and joy. I painted a lopsided sunflower, and something in me bloomed. Retirement isn't a dead end. It's a second beginning, one that finally belongs to you. Or health is the real wealth. I used to say, I'll rest when I retire. I drank too much coffee, slept too little, ignored the stiffness in my knees. And then one day my back gave out while tying my shoes. That moment taught me more than any paycheck ever did. Now I stretch before sunrise. I drink water like it's gold. And I dance, even if it's just in the kitchen. Money can buy many things, but not the energy to chase your grandchild across the yard. 5, love doesn't always look romantic. At 60, I mourned the fairy tale, the partner I lost, the romance that faded, but love still showed up. It came as a neighbor who shoveled my driveway, a son who texts just to say, made it home safe, the warmth of my dog curling up against me when the house felt cold. Romantic love may be one chapter, but it's not the whole story. Real love shows up in casseroles and check-ins, in quiet loyalty. 6, forgiveness is for you, not them. I spent years holding a grudge against someone who never apologized. It burned in my chest like a coal I refused to drop. But anger is a cage we lock ourselves in. Forgiveness is the key we never realized we were holding. When I forgave, nothing changed about them, but everything changed about me. My sleep, my smile, my peace. Forgiveness doesn't make them right. It makes you free. 7, you can still start something new. At 62, I planted my first tomato. At 64, I joined a yoga class and nearly fell over trying downward dog. At 66, I wrote a poem for the first time since high school. Every year, I surprised myself and I learned something. Joy isn't just for the young. We are never too old to begin again, to fail, laugh, and try, to say, I've never done this before, and do it anyway. Okay? Alone doesn't mean lonely. There was a time when silence felt like punishment, and now it feels like a soft blanket at the end of a long day. I've learned to cook for one and set the table anyway, to walk without a companion and still notice every flower, to sleep alone and still feel safe. Loneliness is a lack of connection. Aloneness is a presence with yourself. And when you truly meet yourself, you realize you're good company. 9, let go of what you can't control. Pride to fix everything. My adult child's poor choices, my friend's depression, even the brokenness of the world. It drained me. Now I light a candle instead of worrying. I say a prayer instead of panicking. I breathe. Some things are above our pay grade. Letting go isn't defeat. It's divine trust. 10, memories matter more than stuff. I once had closets filled with clothes I never wore, boxes of china I never used, drawers of trinkets I couldn't name, but none of those things brought me peace. Not like my granddaughter's drawing taped to the fridge. Not like the memory of dancing barefoot at my son's wedding. Stuff clutters space. Memories fill the soul. Now I give more away and I gave more moments in return. 11, say the things while you can. There were words I carried too long. I'm sorry. I miss you. I admire you. I thought I had time, but life doesn't send warnings. Now I speak them freely. I compliment strangers. I call family. I leave voicemails full of love. Say the things, even if your voice shakes, because one day someone will wish they heard them one more time. 12, your life is still teaching others. I used to think I had to be on a stage or in a book to matter. But then a young nurse once said, I hope I'm as graceful as you when I'm your age. That stayed with me. Every smile you give, every time you bounce back, every quiet act of dignity, it's a lesson someone else is watching. We teach through how we show up, how we endure, how we love, how we live, even when no one seems to be looking. If you've made it this far, you know, these aren't just lessons, they're scars. They're second chances wrapped in memory and mistakes. I learned them when time had already slipped through my fingers. But you still have time to forgive. You start over, to dance barefoot in your kitchen, to tell someone you love them, to love yourself. It's not too late. Not for you. Aging gracefully doesn't mean avoiding wrinkles. It means smiling through them because each one tells a story. It means walking slower, but seeing more. It means letting go, not because you're weak, but because you've grown strong enough to know what no longer serves you. These 12 lessons didn't arrive in books or speeches. They arrived in the quiet moments, in the mirror, in heartbreak, in healing. Now they're yours. Carry them, live them, and maybe one day pass them on. If even one of these lessons touched your heart today, don't keep it to yourself. Click like, share it with someone who needs it. And if you're walking this path of aging and awakening, subscribe. Because we're not just getting older, we're getting wiser together.